Moses at Mount Sinai. 3 months after crossing the Red Sea, the Israelites camped in the desert at the foot of Mount Sinai. Moses climbed up the mountain where God spoke to him. "You have seen how I brought you out of Egypt. Tell the Israelites, if you obey me, out of all the nations, I will make you my treasured people, a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation." Moses went back down the mountain to tell the leaders of the people what God had promised. Together they responded, "We will do everything the Lord has said." Moses climbed back up the mountain to give God their answer. God told Moses, "I am going to come to you in a thick cloud so the people will hear me speaking to you and will trust you." Moses reported that the Israelites had said they were ready to fully obey God. "Tell the people to get ready to consecrate themselves today and tomorrow," God commanded. "Have them wash their clothes and be ready by the third day because that's when I will come down." God told Moses to put a boundary around the mountain as anyone who touched it would die. Only when the ram's horn sounded a long blast could they approach the mountain. Moses gave everyone God's instructions. They washed their clothes and prepared to consecrate themselves to God. On the morning of the third day there was thunder, lightning, and a thick cloud over the mountain. There was the sound of a loud trumpet blast and everyone trembled. Moses led the people to the foot of the mountain. The Lord descended onto Mount Sinai in the form of fire. Smoke billowed up like a furnace, and the whole mountain shook. The sound of the trumpet grew louder and louder. God called Moses to come to the top of the mountain. "Warn everyone to stay outside the boundaries around the mountain and set it apart as holy," God told Moses. "Then return to the top of the mountain with Aaron." Moses went down to warn everyone that the mountain was holy and they must not approach any closer. Then he and Aaron climbed back to the top. God then gave his laws for living to please him. "You shall have no other gods before me. Don't worship or bow down to any other god but the one true God. Don't misuse the name of the Lord your God in vain. You are to work for 6 days, but the seventh day is a day of rest set apart for God. Respect your father and mother so you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not lie. You shall not covet anything belonging to someone else." The people below remained at a safe distance, trembling with fear. God gave Moses more instructions to help them live at peace with him and each other. Moses wrote down God's laws and then told everyone what God had commanded. "We will do everything the Lord has said," they all replied. The next morning Moses built an altar to God at the foot of the mountain. Young bulls were sacrificed and half of their blood was splashed on the altar and the rest put in bowls. Moses then read God's laws for everyone a second time. "We will do everything the Lord has said," they promised once again. "We will obey." Moses then sprinkled the blood on them and said, "This is the blood of the agreement God has made with us." Moses then led the leaders up the mountain where they saw God, but he spared their lives. Under God's feet was something that looked like a pavement of bright blue marble. The leaders ate and drank on the mountain. God then asked Moses to come to the top of the mountain on his own where he would write his commands on tablets of stone. Joshua accompanied Moses halfway up Mount Sinai, where he waited for him to return. A cloud covered the mountain for 6 days and then on the seventh God called to Moses. He went into the cloud where he stayed for 40 days and nights. As Moses was on Mount Sinai, the people below wondered if he would ever come back. They came to Aaron and said, "We don't know what has happened to Moses. Let us make a god to lead us." Aaron told them to take off the gold earrings the women and children were wearing and give them to him so they could be melted down to make an idol. The gold was melted down and shaped into a golden calf. The people responded by declaring, "This is our God that brought us out of Egypt." "Tomorrow there will be a great festival," declared Aaron. The next day, people sacrificed burnt offerings, ate, drank and threw a wild, noisy party worshipping the golden calf. Meanwhile, Moses, who was still on Mount Sinai, was instructed by God. "Go down immediately. The people I brought out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have made an idol cast in the shape of a calf and are bowing down and offering sacrifices. They are saying, 'This is our gods who brought us out of Egypt.'" God was angry by their disobedience. He told Moses, he wanted to destroy them. Moses pleaded with God not to destroy the people he had rescued from Egypt. He knew God had promised to make them into a great nation. Moses took the 2 stones tablets, which God had engraved his commandments, and walked down the mountain. On the way down, Moses met Joshua, who had been waiting for him. "It sounds like there is war in the camp," Joshua said. "It is not the sound of war," Moses replied. "It is the sound of singing." When Moses saw the people dancing and worshipping the golden calf, he was beside himself. He threw the 2 stone tablets to the ground at the foot of the mountain, breaking them into pieces. Moses then took the calf the people had made and burned it in the fire. He ground it to powder, put it in the water, and made the Israelites drink it. Moses turned to Aaron. "Why did you lead these people to disobey the Lord God?" "When the people saw you were gone a long time, they wanted a god to lead them," Aaron replied. "I took the gold and made a calf." Moses stood at the entrance to the camp and said, "Whoever is for the Lord, come to me." The tribe called the Levites stepped forward. Moses told them to get their swords and carry out God's punishment on those who had disobeyed him. The Levites carried out the order. Moses then told them, "As you have shown your loyalty to God, he has chosen you to serve him." Moses called the rest of the people together. "You have committed a great sin, but I will go up and talk with God." Moses climbed back up the mountain to ask God to forgive his people for their disobedience. God told Moses that those who had worshipped the golden calf would be punished with a plague, but the rest would be led on to the land God had promised to give them. God instructed Moses to chisel 2 new tablets of stone and return to the mountain. The Lord then wrote on these tablets what he had written before, the 10 Commandments. Moses came back down the mountain and put the tablets in the Ark of the Covenant. These are the laws God has given to us all to obey. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share and leave a comment. Subscribe.